And a good Wednesday late morning to everyone. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights, VELCO Weather Hazards Forecaster. Looking at the big picture here, we're still dealing with a subtropical low pressure center that's going to be tracking off the east coast of New England and into the Canadian Maritimes. Really not a whole lot else going on. We have one weather system that's going to push a cold front through. This is going to allow temperatures to cool off, and you can see some of these temperatures up to the north and west that is going to blow in, and these readings are going to really cool things off during Thursday afternoon and set the stage for about 3 days of drier weather. Looking at that drier condition here, we have fairly humid conditions in terms of dew point temperatures, but note a lot of drier air mass here that is going to be moving in behind this front once it whips on through during the morning hours on Thursday. Let's take a look at the computer modeling world. On the right-hand side, we have the deterministic model of the GFS, the Global Forecast System. We have the European Center for Medium Range Weather Forecast on the left, the European. And this shows basically at around 2 o'clock this afternoon, we've had some rainfall. Most of that has been on right about the Green Mountains and points east for the most part. And we're going to continue with this sort of showery pattern. A lot of that moves north tonight, and then this system is going to have to move on in. And that's going to whip this frontal system through. It looks like this is about 12Z. That's 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're seeing just a little bit of leftover shower activity, but it's this high pressure center with cooler temperatures that are really going to become the main influence on our weather starting on basically Thursday afternoon, Thursday night, and then continuing into the day on Friday as well as Saturday. Notice that the intensity of this area of higher pressure actually strengthens right over the state of Vermont on Friday. And it's really going to be the controlling influence as this elongated high pressure center is going to be with us. So we're looking pretty good here for 3 days of dry weather going into Sunday. And this will just continue with some pretty fabulous conditions up until the time we get this weather system pushed in, along with some moisture coming in from the western Atlantic. This is almost a repeat of what we've been seeing currently that's taking place. A little bit of moisture kind of works up the eastern seaboard. A little higher dew point temperatures, kind of a Bermuda high, a little bit of a subtropical low northeast of Bermuda, but it looks like it stalls out as a cutoff and just kind of sits there and spins. That's only going to reinforce this ridge of higher pressure as we get later beyond the period. We're talking here on Thursday night and then into, it looks like the next day, the following day, into Friday. This is the 4th of November, way around the corner. Looking at the GFS ensemble centered on Montpelier, Vermont, this is our showery weather we're going to see through Thursday morning, and then the cold front pushes on through, and then we dry things out for several days to come. We're looking at a total QPF here of only around 0.2 of an inch, so minuscule amounts of precip. Looking at 850 millibars, or roughly the top of Mount Mansfield, temperatures will continue to be above the 0-degree isotherm. That means precipitation will be all in the form of rain, so there's no real snow issues at all in terms of precipitation type. Looking at precipitable water, it's a pretty high deal here we're seeing during the day today. We have the moisture certainly to prevail, but we're not getting any trigger mechanisms to really push in heavier rainfall. However, places like New Hampshire, even the Connecticut River, saw a little bit of heavier rain showers. That is now will become a thing of the past once this cold front moves on through. And just looking at the temperature scenario here, we are looking at a pretty good little fall during the morning hours into the afternoon on Thursday in terms of temperatures, making a pretty good dip. And then it'll set us up for some frosty conditions and then a moderating trend. And you can see here the computer modeling world sort of comes apart roughly as we get into well beyond the period. This is a rainfall from 7 days QPF, quantitative precipitation forecast, or accumulated rainfall, and they're giving us about 1 inch across southern parts of Vermont, more across southern parts of New England. I'm thinking this is a little bit above normal than what I've been seeing with some of the other computer modeling world, but anyway, a little drier to the north, a little wetter to the south in the coming days. Looking at 2-meter temperatures from the climate reanalyzer, we're well above normal, and it really feels like that, especially at night. A little bit less so in the day, but these are warmer than normal temperatures, and those are the conditions. Meteorological output statistics continuous above normal in temperature, and that's for the next 5 days. These are high temperatures only, and then we're looking at those temperatures continuing above normal. Notice it cools down at times, but not significantly. This is the November projection for tropical cyclones this time of year. Notice it's basically off the coast. There's really no more worries. 5-day graphical from the National Hurricane Center shows us that we do have a possibility of the formation of another tropical depression, potentially that will work up the coast and then out to sea. Quick look at the European tropical cyclone ensemble, and what we can see is this area of low pressure is going to track basically north, kind of split. High pressure is pretty strong. It's going to be off the coast. And the other significant